Well, folks, it's your old buddy Luke Clayton, and welcome to this week's Sportsman's Life. Mr. Omar Cotter with me right here. I've known Omar for how many, 25 years?
Probably at least. Before I started guiding, it's just neat to meet you with some shows and stuff.
Well, Omar has guided still guides at Lake Grapevine. We're down at Tawakoni, and the sand bass, the white bass have been going absolutely nuts.
They have. It's been fantastic.
We're going to try to catch some, aren't we?
We are. We're going to do our best. And the thing is, we're going to get out there early and use the binos to look for them along where they've been schooling at. And if that doesn't work, then we're going to go back to slabbing. And one of the things I want to try now, we're using RSR slabs. We're using them with the stinger hook. But we also, Rapala just picked me up. I'm on their VIP program. I'm on their pro staff. And they've got this thing called a jigging rap. And it's actually for ice fishing.
You've told me about it.
And it's the funniest thing. I had the Rapala rep out here, and I'm looking through the bag of stuff he brought, and I'm thinking, man, this ought to work. Because it's heavy. It's
jigging wrap.
Jigging wrap. It's like an ounce bait.
I saw some tied on the rods up there.
Right.
So.
And they're really cool. They got 3 hooks. They got one in the front, one in the rear, and then they've got a treble hook in the middle. Yep. So these fish are probably going to get stuck.
One way or another. And then, then later in the day, I'm just guessing what could happen, some little trolling action too with a hellbender.
Definitely.
And a couple of trailers might do that too.
Absolutely, because what'll happen is those fish will school, and they'll be pretty easy to get when they're doing that.
Yep, you know where they're at.
But the problem later on in the day, they start working structure. They'll just swim up and down that structure. And if you're trying to fish the school of fish, you're not going to be successful. So what you've got to do is you've got to fish the structure that they're holding to, that they're moving up and down. And trolling is absolutely the best way to cover a lot of ground and have baits in the water and put fish in the bones.
And catch 2 at a time sometimes.
Yes, sir. You sure
Omar
can.
Cotter.
Sometimes 4 at a time. We got 2 rods in.
It can happen. At the end of the show, we're going to leave your contact information. But the website, Omar Cotter, everybody knows Omar in North Texas, but Luck of the Irish.
Yeah, Luck of the Irish, no F. It's luckoftheirish.net, and then we're also on Google. We got a Google listing.
Yep.
We've got tons of reviews there. We've got Facebook, and we've got Instagram. We've got a TikTok channel. We got YouTube, all kinds of stuff. We're giving a trip away on our YouTube channel, so if you get a chance, go by there and look at that. And we'd love to have everybody enter because we're giving away a trip for up to 5 people for a half day with me.
It's so much fun.
It will be.
Omar, what do you say we get the boat in the water and go catch some fish? You ready?
Okay,
Mr. Omar, show us what we're going to be catching these fish on.
Well, we've got the Irish minnow here, and this is from RSR Lures.
Let's take a good look at that.
And
yeah, Irish minnow, named Luck of the Irish.
Luck of the Irish, because I told him I wanted this bait, and he made, I described it to him, and he made it. And he never sold it to the public. And then I'm like, why are you not selling that to the public? This is a great bait. But I'm telling you right now, those 3D eyes, they make a world of difference on catching fish. I really, truly believe they do.
Okay, and your other bait there?
This other bait is one I developed with Alluring Lures actually up in Oklahoma. And it's called the Irish Special.
Okay.
And if you look at it, she's got this in every model, size and shape that she has. But if you look at it, what is the color of a shad's back in clear water?
Yeah, I see some blue there,
some blue and green.
Yeah, iridescent.
Yep, and it's got the gold, so it's gold and green, so it's the Irish Special.
That is a good looking bait. What do you say we put them to work?
I
On there,
do.
buddy.
I do.
Looking at that rod, you do have one on, bud.
There she is, Tawakoni Magnum.
Yes. And tell you what, we'll get him slowed down. I know he's got some sharp gills on him, but you got the gloves.
Yep. I learned to grab them by the head like this and get those gill plates closed.
Yep.
and then you don't have to worry about it nearly as much.
We'll take a good look at him, and you caught him on, let's see,
the Rapala jig and wrap.
Jig and wrap.
Yes, sir.
Yep, well, he's going to make 2 good, crunchy, well, more than that fillets.
My goodness, that hook, that bottom hook, that lead hook got him all the way through the bottom jaw. Those little hooks are...
Let's take a look at him here. Let everybody see what a magnum, hold him up just sideways there, and we'll admire that fish. How about that, Omar?
You know, a lot of people don't know this, but sand bass, when they're schooling and they're feeding actively, they light up like a saltwater fish. Look, they'll this back tail get a blue to it, that right there, the bottom half.
Yeah,
of
it'll get iridescent. It will.
It will.
Well, I say we catch some more. What do you say?
I think we need to. We need to fill your freezer, brother.
Okay, trolling with the Hellbender. 4 of them. We got, you know, we just caught 2 doubles. We both caught 2 fish at a time.
Double. Sure did.
And right by, like you said, Omar, right by this marker buoy.
Yep.
We made one pass, was a little too far out. Didn't happen, did it?
No, it didn't. You got to be right on that structure where you see those fish, or it's just you're wasting your time. That's why I use a marker, because I'll know exactly where I am in relationship to that structure, and I can come back and keep hitting it time after time.
Trolling is a lot of fun, and it works. We'll get these in the
box.
In the box. Well, Omar, we have caught them on slabs, we caught them on topwaters, and we caught these. It's kind of, the sun's getting up pretty good on a Hellbender. Tell us about that bait that we trolling with it.
Well, that Hellbender right there has been around for a long, long time, and it's just a great bait for getting the bait. They call it a poor man's downrigger, because depending on how much line you let out, that bait will get down to as deep as 18, 22 feet, somewhere in that range. And you can put a couple of baits on here like we've got. These are little flukes from 4B Baits and Jig Heads. You can find them on Instagram. Man, they're a great little bait. They've taken the place of the pet spoon for me personally, because they're a lot less expensive, number one, but number two, they catch the fish.
Well, they're doing a good job. I say we get some back in the water. What do you think?
That sounds like a plan. Let's get some more fish for you to take home, Luke.
Well, folks, it's all over but cleaning the fish, and we've got a bunch of fish to clean, Omar. Man, it was a fun time.
It was.
Thank you so much. Tawakoni, Omar, Luck of the Irish. Come get them, folks. It's happening.
This lake is on fire right now. We caught them every single way
that you talked about
we
earlier.
We caught them every single technique. It worked for us. And I'm telling you, man, once those fish move out from schooling on those shad, finding the structure they're holding to and fishing that structure, you can put a bunch of fish in the box real quick.
And that's exactly what we did.
We did. I mean, you'll see, we got some stills. I don't know if you're going to. Nice doubles. I mean, we're talking 13 to 15-inch fish, 2 at a time. It was a blast.
It happened. Well, I tell you, it's all over but the filleting. So we'll get to work. And folks,
awesome.
Now if you're traveling through, if you're watching this and you're not from North Texas, if you're coming through DFW, Lake Grapevine is right there close. A lot of your clients
they'll stay there either at the Gaylord or one of the hotels.
And come out there and fish with you.
They'll come out and fish with us. They'll get an Uber and drop them off right there, and we'll take care of them. We clean your fish for you. It's all inclusive. You know, we clean your fish. We provide all the rods and reels. All you got to do is show up and have a good time and relax. And get in touch with us. It's 817-937-8755, or on the web at luckytheirish.net, and all the social media. We've got a page there somewhere, and it's usually Lucky the Irish Fishing Guide Service, NTX for North Texas.
You bet you. Thank you very much, Omar.
Thank you, brother. I hope you enjoy those fish.
Oh, man, I'm ready.
In my office, I've got a wide variety of mounts of hunts that I've done pretty much all over the world. I've been very fortunate and very blessed in so many different ways to hunt on at least 5 or 6 of the continents. The only place I haven't been in terms of continent hunting has been down in Antarctica, and I doubt very seriously that I'll try to go down there anytime soon, or really have no desire to go there. But I've been very fortunate and hunted Africa numerous times, South America, Australia, of course North America, South America, Europe, and Asia. And over the years, those mounts that I've brought back have really kind of set up a situation to where, you know, I can look at one of these mounts and I can tell you almost exactly how I felt at the moment, the people that were with me, and all the great things that I remember about those particular hunts. But when it comes to choosing a taxidermist, I'm going to swim around the room here just a little bit and show you some of the mounts. When it comes to a taxidermist, one of the things you want to do is to make certain that you find somebody that really knows what an animal looks like. Taxidermists that I would use these days are double nickel taxidermy based out of pretty close to New Braunfels, Texas. These guys know what deer look like. They know what this particular sheep here on the left is a Mouflon sheep from Austria, a red sheep from over, they originated over in India, in Iran and Iraq and those areas. And then, of course, the pronghorn antelope as well, too, that came from western Texas. This happens to be the best one I've ever shot. It's a 17.5 inch buck. And it may not look that way right now, but if you look how far those hooks hook in at the top, it's really where the length comes in. A really good mule deer out of Colorado. And down below is a Colombian blacktail from Northern California, and then of course we have a roe deer. That one right there is from Sweden. What looks like a caribou is actually a reindeer, is from Norway. And again, another little roe deer. This one happens to be from England, just not very far out of London. All these animals that are in here are special to me as far as I'm concerned. And again, when I look at these mounts, they allow me to simply just remember every little detail that there was involved, such as these two Spanish ibex, and next to it is a Sitatunga from Uganda. And then there's a variety of other small animals there as well, too, from different parts of the world. And of course, then going right back to the mule deer, and a painting by Don Keller, a very dear old friend of mine who unfortunately passed away not too long ago, and who was one of the great artists as far as I'm concerned when it comes to whitetail deer, but also somebody who illustrated my first book, The Fair Flat Philosophy, a book that I did with Fire Press back in '95. But in choosing the taxidermist, look for one that really knows what an animal looks like, pays attention to detail such as around the eyes. The ears can tell a story. Every one of these, if you'll notice, has, some of them are pointed forward, some of them are pointed backward, some of them are kind of at rest. Sometimes there's one that's got an ear pointed forward and another one that's pointed backwards. So it's just kind of a natural situation. But if you're going to use a taxidermist, spend a little time with that taxidermist before you go on a hunting trip. And once you get an idea as to the quality of the work he does and what kind of an artist he is, find out how long it takes for him to get the mount completed. Because in the past, I've had mounts that I'm still waiting on. And that's been 5, 6, 7 years ago, and even longer. So, try to find a taxidermist that's timely. It's one of the reasons I like the guys over at Double Nickel Taxidermy. They do such a fantastic job in terms of the mounts that they do, the quality they do, how long lasting those mounts are, the expression they put into those individual animals. And it really makes the difference. You want to have a nice mount that's going to last for a long time when you put it on the wall, and or in my instance here in my little office. Even fish happens to be a fish I caught in Colorado, cutthroat, years and years ago on a fly rod. But these, even fish, to me, the best kind of fish mounts are the reproductions that they do. They used to skin them out, and then over a period of time, they would kind of start losing their color and losing the skin, and the fins would start going apart. So, to me, I really like the ones that have really kind of just replicas, take very good measurements as far as length and girth and pictures, and with their painting, they can reproduce those colors almost exactly as to what that fish looked like whenever it was taken out of the water.
Well, hello friends, welcome to A Sportsman's Life. Jeff Rice here. We're gonna hike down the trail. We got the bow here. See if we can't put the smack down on a hog tonight. So, beautiful night, a little bit warm, 83 degrees right now, but a quiet night. I've had a lot of rain out here, but we're gonna go give it a try. So, let's go get in the blind. Got a hog right in front of us. Alright, we gotta go get set up. Well, walked to my stand, left them. I know which way they were headed, I thought. They actually were already here, so we're going back. It might be a spot and stalk after all. All right, stay tuned. Well, we're back on them, folks. Spot and stalk going on here. The wind is right for me, so I'm going to try to make my way down there and see what happens. So we'll do our best to bring it to you here. Well, folks, one wrong step. I maybe pushed the limit there a little bit. A couple of young sows and then a whole bunch of yearlings. Wow, that was a fun stalk. I still see one back off in the distance. They'll make their way the other direction. I spooked them, so that was probably, I don't know, I cut my camera a couple times, but I would say probably a 30-minute stalk easily or more just to get on them. I was close. Well, I'm going to circle around. Maybe I'll head them off on the other side of the ranch. This spot and stalk stuff, if you've never done this, it is fun, it is exciting, heart-pounding, but you know, the more you practice, the better you get, but you've got to be stealthy. You've got to sneak through those woods and hope like heck they don't see you or smell you. Wind was in my favor right there, so it was perfect. My mistake was I walked on early on, went on to sit in the blind, and I thought, you know what, there's no corn here. They had already been there, so we just decided to do the spot and stalk thing, and wow, it worked out good. That was fun. Well, I know there's a little shaky video there, but tried to get it the best I could for you, but you were front and center with me. A lot of fun here on A Sportsman's Life.
Okay, my friends, we have got our smoking Tex. Here's the unit. This is the 1460. It's out here in my little cooking shack. I'll tell you what, let's look at our barbecue. Got a little barbecue sauce on these pork pieces of wild pork shoulder, and we've got these little Cornish hens. These things are going to be so tasty. So we're going to shut the lid. That smoke is about to start rolling. I've got the firebox down here loaded up. This is our smoke box here on the Smoking Tex, and I've got it loaded up liberally with some hickory nuts that I picked under the hickory trees here on our place. So let's pop these in the Smoking Tex, and I've already got the meat in there. I'll give you a look at that, and we'll just let that thing go for about 5 hours and check it and see how everything's coming along. Then I'll show you a picture of the finished product. How about that? Well, friends, we have all that barbecue ready, but I thought you might want to take a look at my camp here. Some of the antlers, none of them giants, just a bunch of good memories here. This is my cabin right here. Here's the buck, or the antlers of the buck that I took on the Dale River Ranch recently. That's a nice deer. Just some horns that bring back great memories through the years. But I want to show you this barbecue next. Let's walk over here and let's take a look. Okay, you remember the pulled or the pork pieces, the pork shoulder. Here's a good look at this. In a bit, I'm going to plate this, and we're going to show you how tender it is. Little Cornish head, I cooked a couple of those. And right here, we've covered this in the past. It's just a can. It started out as a can of baked beans, cheap ones too, from the dollar store. I added garlic and onion and jalapeno and just cooked it real slow for a while. That's some of the best beans you've ever eaten. But we're going to plate this up, and I want to show you how tender this actually just chunked up wild pork shoulder is what it is. And great barbecue sauce on it. So let's plate it up and take a look at it. What do you say? Okay, folks, this pork is really tender. I'm going to tell you, this puts the icing on the cake. I love good barbecue sauce. Best of Texas barbecue sauce on top of all this. Actually, it was cooked in this overnight at 200 degrees for a long time, this pork. But let's take a look at this pork. I want to show you how tender it is. Check this out. Look at this. Now, do you think that would make a good camp meal, folks? Very tender. It's what I call fall off the bone tender. Here's a piece. Look at that. So that's a meal. That's what Mr. Jeff Rice and I are going to have while we're deer hunting, folks. These beans with onions, jalapenos, and fresh garlic cooked in. Very good. And this little, I'm not going to mess this up. I want to eat this piece by piece, this little Cornish hen. There you go, folks. Cooking outdoors does not have to be a tough task. It's really pretty easy. Hope you enjoyed today's little cooking segment. Now it's time for old Luke to get a hold of some of this good barbecue.
See y'all next week.
And a special thanks to these fine sponsors: Air Force Air Guns, B&B Charcoal, Dallas Safari Club, Hornady, Pyramid Air, Nielsen Specialty Ammo, Sightmark, Smokin' Tex, Snap Block Hunting Blinds, Texas Raised Hunting Products, and Striper Express.